Welcome, 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 everybody. We are live. Today, we're actually going to be talking to some to me, it's really special. These are two fellows that I grew up with. Our dads were friends. We were basically born as brothers. And to find out that they're on their YouTube journey and getting out there and doing their stuff as we grew up as, I just find it just amazing. It's such a small world, and I think it's just great. So let's bring them up. I'm going to bring up Brenden and Shelby. Hey, guys.
Greetings.
How's it going?
We're doing well.
Living the dream.
You sure about that?
Sometimes I think it's someone else's dream, and if I find that guy, I'll throttle him, but hey.
So we go back a long ways.
That we do.
Brenden, that I have memories from when I was 2 years old, but of all the little snapshots of memory I have, you were there pretty much in all of them. So
yeah. I mean, we would camp, we would go adventuring, we would get in trouble, or I would get in trouble. For cutting pig lines, and anyway, we'd be adventuring through creeks, and we had a lot of fun as kids.
We did.
It was I think that's what made us who we are and where we are today.
I agree.
So
definitely.
What made you get into this crazy world of YouTube?
Well, Shelby and I have been riding for probably 15 plus years together on motorcycles. He really started riding motorcycle right shortly after my dad passed away, because I had started riding motorcycle with my dad, mostly street riding. As kids, of course, we had ridden off-road for forever. But my dad, one of the things that he said to me shortly after he was diagnosed, when he was told to go home and die, he said, "I wanted to say something to you." And so I got really close, and he said, "I just want to go for one more ride with you." And so I think he passed that on to Shelby and encouraged Shelby to start riding. And so since then, we've just been riding together, predominantly street for the last several years. But this last year, we decided we were going to start riding a lot more off-road, because we are in northern Idaho area, and the majority of this state is either state or national park land. So there's thousands of miles of off-road, and so we said, hey, let's start doing it off-road. But we've been videoing it and taking pictures of all our adventures for years. So we suddenly decided, hey, I think maybe it's time that we start sharing what we're doing with other people, but also our family.
Yeah.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I remember as a kid, I mean, our parents riding bikes, and we were out in Arizona and stuff like that, right? I mean, it was just memories that we have. Like, your dad loved to ride.
Yeah.
Well, I think decades before we got in trouble together, our dads got in trouble together. So
yes,
there is that.
Yes, I think it just kind of carried on, right?
It did.
Yeah. It's a generational thing. We can't fight it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Shelby, I know you like to ride. Does your wife like to ride?
No, she doesn't even go near the two-wheeled contrivances. She doesn't have any interest at all. So it's something that I do. She's like, "You have my blessing. Go do your thing." And
Kendra rides, right, Kate? Right, Brenden?
Yeah, actually, I've got all three of the kids riding now. This last summer, I bought them all motorcycles, so we've all been adventuring out in the woods and the back roads together. And my Kelly, of course, loves to ride. She likes to. She doesn't really want to ride on the road herself, so she always rides behind me, which is fine. And we've also got one couple that we always hook up with every summer that are great friends, and we usually go on a couple motorcycle trip at least once a summer.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. It's nice to have the people that have that commonality, right?
Absolutely.
getting out and just adventuring.
Yeah.
And I just find, getting out there, like since we started our adventure was with Cayden and myself was, I started it because of COVID and all this stuff because of lack of work. I needed to keep my mind busy.
Yeah.
And just getting out there and enjoying nature and kind of, getting him to where we were as kids, right? Because we were always out camping and adventuring.
Yes.
I think is important.
Yep.
And unfortunately, our younger generations have really lost a lot let's say a lot of them have lost a lot of that because we as parents are either so busy trying to
Yep.
keep food on the table that we don't take the time to do what our parents did for us. Yeah.
No, exactly. And I think it's important that our kids need to be grounded. I have a video that I'm just editing right now of where I got my truck stuck. We're up in the snow, right? And no cell reception and stuff like that. And I actually put Cayden behind the seat of the truck. And I'm going, okay, wait a second. This might not be the best idea. So it's like, okay, we'll figure something else out. But because as soon as he hit the gas, the look on his face was like, I was like, oh no. But
that's the important thing of, and it's interesting because last weekend, we celebrated my youngest Jace's 12th birthday.
Oh wow, he's 12.
And we went to an indoor go-kart, a dirt track racing place here in Post Falls, and we did our thing. We had 2 races, and everybody, all the kids that we took, were all stoked. And interestingly enough, some other people that we knew came in as we were leaving, and he was there with his 7-year-old daughter. And these are not slow carts. They probably top out at around 45, 50 miles an hour, and this is a fairly small track.
Huh.
And as long as she's tall enough, you're allowed to drive. And so he was telling me how he strapped his daughter in, and he was getting ready to go in, and then he was like, I wonder if I should be doing this. I've got a 7-year-old little girl here, and we've got a whole bunch of people here that are actually pretty serious about this. And I just made the comment to him. I said, particularly we as dads, it's our job to try and make certain our kids are safe, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's also our job to allow them to have experiences, and also push them to have experiences, so that way they become comfortable.
Yeah.
Because life is a risk.
It is.
We can't be safe all the time.
No, and that's the thing. Like I look at situations of like when we were kids, right? I remember stupid things that I had done. Like I remember taking the shotgun and putting the shot in it, and then standing in the back of the camper and firing it and going flying across the camper. Nate. Stupid things like that, right?
It's about making memories, man. Go forth and
Yeah.
make memories.
But sometimes we need to learn from our mistakes as well. And for me, I was in a spot where, I needed some sort of help to try to push the vehicle out. Eventually I was able to get out, and then some Jeeps came along and I got winched out. But the whole situation was very frustrating and very, what do? You don't have cell reception. You have no way of getting a hold of somebody. So it makes you kind of rethink things as well.
But when you stop and now that you're able to look back on that, what an amazing opportunity to work with your son and show him, even though something's pretty tough and I don't have any real clue how to fix this yet, we're gonna work at it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, because I'm getting frustrated, I'm just like, hey, I can't film, so I gave him the camera and I let him film. Yeah, some of the language might get a little bit out of control, but. Exactly. But I was at a point that I was so frustrated. And how do I get out? I'm stuck. But I knew that there was somebody still ahead because I know that there was a vehicle back there. So I knew I still had a rescue line. Yeah. And then these guys that came along, they were great towing me out. But at the same time, the whole situation kind of makes you think, okay, I need to be a bit more prepared.
Yeah.
So I mean, you learn from all your experiences. You grow and you expand with that. And I think it's important as well for our kids to grow as well, and to sometimes see us being frustrated helps. But I think at the same time, it can kind of help them grow further with their experiences and help others too down the road, type of thing.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
yeah. So what's going on in the chat here? Let me check. So we've got Dana in the house from Alaska. Limi is in the house. Solex, I don't know if Solex is on Earth yet, but he is in the house. V is in the house. Hi, V. She's from Toronto.
Hi, V.
The Morris family is in the house. DJ and Amy, they are from here. Bree is in the house, keeping an eye on trolls. Please.
Good.
Cayden's been making a Play-Doh thing.
Clay car.
Clay car.
That's cool.
A lot of Play-Doh. I guess Grandma, when I was in the hospital, decided to buy him a brick of this stuff.
Excellent.
Very good.
Yeah. Who else is in the house? Dana from Alaska, V from Toronto, Bree from Washington, Stan is in the house. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are talking to Boondocking Bros ADV. So let's explain your channel.
Oh,
Hey, it's a very young channel.
We all had to start somewhere.
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, obviously, we've done a lot more off-road riding lately. We've recently gotten ways to document it a little bit more. Like you said, with COVID, you started a channel. I started dabbling with more imagery and photo editing and video editing. I guess that was the kind of thing where I was like, well, I guess I can do this. So I was playing catch up with Brenden here, and he said, well, why don't we document what we're doing? Because so few people get the opportunities to go out, and not like everybody's going to want to do exactly what we do. But if we're showing what we do, it'll give at least some ideas, even if it's for some people's like, well, I certainly wouldn't want to do that, but I'll go do hiking or whatever. It just kind of contributes more to what's out there when people go onto YouTube and they look and they see, well, what's out there? What can I do? We're just showing our brand of it. So
Yep.
gives an opportunity for people to, and we're hoping to be able to encourage people to go out and make memories.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important part, right? I mean, doing things in a different way. Like I'm out adventuring in our truck. You're out adventuring on your bikes. And I hope once, COVID and the borders open that, we can do a lot more stuff together as well. Because that's part of our past, right? And it's kind of cool to bring the past to now. So us getting out adventuring, I think would be a lot of fun. I mean, you guys grew up here.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah.
So you're BC boys.
We are.
There's a lot of places I want to see that I either didn't get to see or I want to see again. So.
Oh, and I'm still discovering stuff that I didn't know. Like the other day, Cayden and I were driving in Langley. We found the old electric railway station down on, I forget where it is, which I never knew was there. And you're just going, wow, really?
Huh. That's
So simple little things that you're just kind of, just puttering around and you find something. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cayden, can you turn that off, please? Yes, please.
Yes, we're at X number of minutes in, and all the distractions start hitting.
Yeah, we regularly come upon these amazing little places, and you're just like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that this was here. For instance, our background there, that was we were just puttering along on this little decommissioned fire road, and this waterfalls just rushing down there, and it's just in the middle of the woods, and you're just like, this is so amazing. So you stop and you hang out and you drink. It was just, yeah, you just keep finding these little gems here and there.
You do. It's amazing. It's like finding all these little treasures that you didn't really know about, or you hear about, and then you go find them, or you're going down the back road and you come across this amazing waterfall, like the one in your picture there. It just sets you back and going, wow, we live in an amazing place.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's important for us to not lose, our childhood sense of wonder. And I think going out into nature is the best thing that I know of that can help keep that alive. So
yeah,
anything with pixels and electronics, it's like you just look at it and you're like, I've either seen it or it's been done. But when it's real, that has significance to me anyway.
Oh, it does. I mean, you take your adventures. I just finished editing a video today. I'm starting on another one right now. But you sit there and you take these adventures, you edit them down to, these bite size. You've got hours of stuff, and you edit it down to this 8-10 minutes, whatever you want, right? And you sit there and you sit back after and you look at it and going, wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're rewatching it, right? And you're redoing it and you're recreating it and you're redoing it. It's like, oh, okay. Sometimes that gets a little bit tiring, but
Yes, it does.
it's just like, okay, I don't like that. Okay, let's tweak that a little bit. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
Bree dropped your guys' link for your channel, which is great. Thanks, Bree. DJ's saying, except in BC, you really need to hike to get to places. Yeah, sometimes you do. We went to do an adventure with DJ and Amy, and we left. It was nice. We hit Hope. It started snowing. All the exits were closed. We finally were able to turn around, but where we needed to go was covered in snow. And it was just like, yeah, that adventure is not happening.
Yeah, the adventure was finding out that the adventure was not going to be what you expected today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is an adventure that is something that's still in the books. It's really, really cool. Some of the stuff that is part of the Othello tunnels.
Yeah.
So you got the old train trestles still, and some collapsed tunnels. But it's something that's discovered, and I'm just like, okay, because I remember as a kid, doing the 4x4ing stuff on the back roads and seeing the old train trestle up there, right, on the old hydro roads. And something got me thinking about it, so I tracked it all down, figured it all out and where it was, and it's something I still have to do.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of cool because as a kid, you kind of remember some of these little things. It's like, okay, I gotta figure that one out. Oh, I gotta find that one. So
yeah.
But yeah. So what are your future plans for your adventuring in your channel?
So we because what we do is mostly summer related or late spring, or particularly around here because there's so much snow in the mountains.
Now, where are you guys located?
So I'm in Post Falls, which is about an hour and a half south of the BC Idaho border. In Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene area. And then, of course, we've got Washington and Montana on both sides of us. So,
and Shelby, you're in Spokane?
I'm in Spokane Valley, so I'm 20 minutes from Post Falls, as it turns out.
Yeah.
So
that works out well.
Yeah, it works out very well. So we actually have quite a long list, and we've continued to compile the rides that we are looking to take. We invested in some new bikes this fall, which are more of a dual sport type of thing. So they're very, very capable on road, but they're also extremely capable off road. And we also just have plain old off road bikes that we work with. But we are looking at a number of longer trips this summer. We're going to do more than just like an overnighter, which is what we've been doing mostly for the last few years. We're going to probably maybe take 4 or 5 days out. So one of them is called the Idaho Tour of Idaho. And there's actually 2 versions of it. One of them is for single track only, so very small off-road bikes. And then one of them is for what they call a dual sport or adventure bike for bigger vehicles, bigger bikes. So we're probably going to try and do that this summer. But that's 1,800 miles of off-road from the tip of Idaho down. Yep.
So are you just using motorcycles or are you using ATVs?
No, we only use motorcycles.
Okay. So how do you carry your motorcycles, and what are your living conditions and stuff like that?
So the way we work it is we pack it, we throw everything on the back of the bikes, and away we go.
Yeah. Camping off the bikes.
Both of our we have a dual sport, which is kind of considered mostly a dirt bike, but it is licensed to be on the road. And then we also have the adventure bikes, which are bigger cylinder bikes that are more roadworthy but have dirt capabilities. And so what we do is we load our tent and our sleeping bag and the food on them, and away we go.
Yep.
Okay. I'm pulling your volume up a little. Some people are saying it's a little bit hard to hear you.
Okay. Here, maybe.
So I just adjusted it on my end a bit.
You can turn up the gain on it.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the gain up here a bit too. Here, is that better?
That's better, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. We'll just turn it up. Is that too much?
I just lowered it a little on my end here.
Okay.
So it should be fine.
We'll quit moving the goalposts on you here.
30% compared to volume 100%. Oh, V gets so technical. Those Toronto people, tell you.
Yeah.
So you've got a trailer that you haul the bikes around in.
No, well, yes, for the family. Like I do have a big what they call deck over snowmobile trailer that I've converted into being able to haul all of the family's bikes when we go out as a family, and then we can also camp out of that. So the front half of it, I have set up for cooking and prep and sleeping, and the back half is all set up for hauling the bikes.
Okay, that works well.
Yeah.
There's a benefit to that having the base, but if you're going to do an extended trip, for example, you could drop your vehicle, take your bikes, but unless it's a loop, then you ended up, you left a vehicle somewhere. So the way we've configured most of our rides together, we have made it so that we can leave the house, and when we're done playing, we can get back to the house
without another vehicle.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you: do you have like a porta potty, or do you have a bucket?
A
shovel.
Even better.
A trowel, because shovels would be too bulky.
There we go. We used to camp.
And the truth too is that because as a rule motorcycles don't have huge amounts of range. Both the bikes we have usually run around 150 to 250 mile range. You got to come out and get gas every now and then. So if you're really if you can time it, then hopefully you can use the restrooms when you come out to get fuel.
Yep, or you're finding a log or a bush or whatever it might be.
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah. And I mean that's true camping. I mean that's what we did as kids, right?
Yeah.
Sure, we had the trailers and the campers and stuff like that. But at the same time, when we were out adventuring and stuff like that, you did what you did.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit more primitive than some camping, but we're still young because we're still under whatever certain age that some people might think is too old for that. So at least that's what we decided.
So somebody's going to be turning a big number soon.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about that.
One of us.
It's okay. I'm 3 months behind you. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit that number, I'm just like, oh crap, I'm 3 months behind.
Yes,
you're gonna be like, so let me know how it is,
Yeah, so I need to start pulling out the cane.
Pretty much.
It's hard to believe that number though, right?
Yeah.
Time has flown by.
It has. It really has. Like I remember when my dad turned 50. And now I'm sitting there looking at it going, holy crap.
I think I remember when your dad turned 50. Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, but yeah. So your plans for your channel, to get out to do more, backroading, more adventuring, more, sightseeing, more.
Yep.
What's the whole plan?
Well, the other plan is that we would like to, at least we will probably start doing some gear reviews. I mean, there's of course, if you go on YouTube, there's thousands of people who are,
Yeah.
reviewing gear and what have you. But we kind of have a bit of a unique take on it, just because we're not just doing it for the gear itself, but whether or not it actually works for certain types of adventuring.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do. We're hoping to do a few some gear stuff. Some we actually we thanks to you, actually we actually know a number of people that we took some motorcycle rides with this last summer, that we would actually like to sit down and interview, because they're really fascinating people as well. So
And I think
we are looking to do some live streaming.
Yeah. And I, what, in a way, to me, the live streaming helps me get to know people, right?
Yeah.
And to help people if I can. And I think that's what's important, is being and the whole YouTube community is to help each other and to support each other. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are put people down, and there's the negatives, kind of the way life is. But as a community, I think we need to come together. The common goal, whether you're a van lifer or you're a boondocker or you're an adventurer, is getting out and seeing things. You're traveling, you're adventuring, you're getting out and doing something. And I think that's what the commonality is.
Yes.
It's not, you're a schoolie, or you're a van lifer, or you're an RVer, or you're a truck lifer, or whatever it might be. It's everybody that's wanting to get out and do something with their lives.
Yeah.
Getting out, exploring, adventuring, traveling. And I think that's what's important, because I know people that they've just, because of the YouTube side of things, they're now starting to get into more the adventure side of things. And starting to explore, and I get emails going, thank you for getting me out there.
Yeah.
And I think that, to me, it gets to me because, I've done a little part to help somebody.
Yeah. You've had a positive impact on somebody's life.
Yeah.
So to your question, what do we plan to do? I mean, still ideas at this point, but I think, I would like to try to answer some of the burning questions I have had, like, I'll go to the research and I'll go to YouTube. Sometimes it's answered to my satisfaction. Sometimes it's answered in a different way, but some educational types of things, or some practical, this is what our experience is with such a thing, just as a data point for people to kind of read off of. So, just being another data point of resource for people who are going out and doing things, okay, well, that's what works for them, or that's what probably more entertainingly did not work for them, since we've done some of that in the past. So,
and not all your adventures are going to be perfect.
No,
nah,
most of them are not.
You can't even edit them so that they look perfect.
No, but you know what? That's also part of life. So, I mean, showing the imperfections, showing the mishaps, showing, not everything's perfect. We're not in this little glam world and stuff like that. So I think that that's important, that we do show the reality of things sometimes as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think people are interested in seeing other real people doing other real things. I think life's too short for the sound bites and I don't know, just that presenting a front or whatever. So.
No, exactly. And I think a lot of people do put on a show. And for me, I like to keep it real.
Yeah.
If shit goes sideways, it goes sideways. It's being real. I think that's what's important.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
to
not
some
everything's
people-
glamorous.
Yeah.
Some people do that very well, and it's great and it's entertaining, and it's just not everybody's jam. So
Yeah, exactly. So I did write down a few questions here, which I haven't even gotten to. So
you probably have, you just haven't checked them off yet.
no, yeah. Sometimes I'll write down questions, but I mean, I've just been kind of flying by the seat of my pants here.
20 questions I will not ask. Yes, good.
Yeah, we've covered kind of most of it already. So I mean, if you had a choice to go, I don't know, the back roads or to a lake or to the mountains or to, what would your choice be? Like if you had all these different options of the ocean, whatever it might be, what would your go-to place be to go?
So
That
that's
makes sense.
for me.
Yes.
No, but seriously, for me, as a motorcyclist, there are few heavenly experiences as amazing as when you're being able to ride beside moving water, like going along rivers or creeks.
Yes.
And because we're not riding really fast, we're not riding hard because I'm too old to do that nowadays. I can't jump, and if I crash, it takes me forever to heal.
Yes.
Go Evil Knievel.
So you get to experience that, and that's one of the reasons why for us motorcycling is where we like to go, because we're not inside a glass cage or inside a cage. We're actually in the elements. So when it gets cold, we get cold. When it's hot, we're hot. We smell everything because we're getting forced air into our helmets. So the smells are amazing, the sounds are amazing, the sensations. You can tell when you go through pockets of air whether or not it's dense air or light air, or just everything is super becomes, your senses are heightened. But anything along water is just an amazing, because you get the sound, the smell, and it's just amazing.
And to that, speaking of the smell, for example, going by somebody's herb garden is amazing, because all of a sudden you smell a whole bunch of herbs you didn't know you knew. Cloverfield is much more pleasant than behind a manure truck.
True.
But to his moving water or whatever, that's been on street and off. We find ourselves in a valley, and it doesn't matter. We're going along, and we speak all of the time through intercom. So we have conversations as we go along. And invariably, it's like, this is a great road. We love it. And I'll look to my right or my left, and I'm like, here we are in a valley, in the mountains, beside a body of moving water. And sure enough, it doesn't matter if you're on the road or on a trail or whatever. That just happens to be, one of our happy places.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, it's the same thing, because whenever I find water, like waterfalls or water or rivers, it's just, there's something about it. There's just that peace, that just that solitude. That's, I don't know, it just makes you feel strong, and just, I don't know, it just kind of gives you that kick in the butt.
It conveys beauty and power. Yeah.
And life. I mean, typically bodies of water of any sort usually have abundant life around them. So that it's all of those things.
So let's get into what you use for filming your adventures.
Well, that's an interesting question. So this last year we mostly have used GoPro 8s. And I also have a 360 cam that I use, that I didn't use nearly as much as we've been editing film. We were like, man, when I used that 360 cam, that was really cool, but I didn't use it nearly enough. We also have drones. In fact, Shelby just picked up a new drone. It's called the Skydio 2, and it's completely autonomous. And it'll follow you even through the woods. It'll avoid everything and just follow you. So we're looking forward to using that. But we really love the drone part of it, because as you are well aware, you can get perspectives that you will never get when you're on the ground.
Yeah, I think using the drone gives you a whole new perspective, gives you a whole new outlook on the whole adventure as well.
Yeah. You sometimes, when you throw that drone in the air and you start looking around, you go, "Hey, look at that over there. Let's go explore that." Because you can't see it on the ground, but once you get up, you see, look at that little road that goes who knows where. Let's go look and see where that goes to.
Exactly. It's like, okay, now how do I get there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, exactly.
Well, yeah, so we'll be looking at obviously doing, helmet cam. After a while, it's like, well, it all looks the same. So, a little bit, we'll vary it up a bunch more, because it just gives us more to look at and more to edit with than,
so a little more
what's in front of us.
We'll try and get a lot more B roll, and some of those sorts of things. So you get a little bit more interest other than just riding, taking more shots of how we set up camp and the things that we, how we load our bikes, and some of just those really interesting little things that could be interesting to other people.
Yeah. And sound. We're looking at being able to patch our intercom conversations in. So if we want to use some of that and it's actually repeatable, sometimes people might find it interesting. So we'll have to be, selective.
Well, yeah, I think it's part of the journey, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's oh, there we go. My camera is gonna start. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna. Oh boy,
you're running out of battery.
I might be running out of battery, so I might have to see if I can switch it if I have to.
Sure enough, low battery.
Okay, I will. Just give me 1 second.
Sure, not a problem. I'll just drop you down till that's fixed. But yeah, it's great to talk to Brenden and Shelby. Growing up together, I mean, our dads were friends before, and being like brothers, I think that this whole adventure that they're on is truly amazing. And I think it's great that they've got this opportunity to get out there and explore and to share it with the whole YouTube world as well. And it's cool to see the journey because we don't live so close. I mean, yes, I think the camera's almost fixed. Because we did grow up together in Vancouver, it makes it harder now because they live in the States with COVID and the border being closed and stuff, that we can't get together. And we can't do any adventuring. So once the borders are open, I think it's going to be really fun to get out and do some adventures together. And I think we're back.
It's kind of looking like it.
It looks like it.
Does it sound like it?
I can hear you.
Oh, well. Don't know if that's good or bad, but hey.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's technology.
I knew that it might go out on me, but I wasn't certain because it was supposed to be charging actually from the computer, but obviously not. So
not enough.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. Even with like the phone and stuff like that, you charge and it's like it's not charging. It's just like
yeah.
Yep.
But
First world problems, baby.
So when this whole, who knows when it'll be over, but when the borders and stuff are open, what are your plans?
Well, we obviously we'd like to hook up with you and do a couple of adventures of some sort. We have forever wanted to. We have taken a couple of street rides up into BC. So we've done a good share of BC on the motorcycles on the road, but we have forever wanted to do up around the west side of Harrison Lake up into Pemberton, and then up through that whole area, up off road,
Lillooet, North Gold Bridge, and you can actually get up through into the northern Caribou or southern Caribou region.
So we've got plans to do that. We would love to come back and actually do Vancouver Island, all completely off road.
That'd be fun.
So that's something that we have been planning for quite some time. We spend a lot of time looking at maps and trying to find roads.
You still have those?
Yeah. Well, Google Maps or online maps.
There you go.
Trying to find roads that are basically either decommissioned or not really used anymore, and we actually try and link them all together to try and make routes. So
cool. A lot of the times, like, is this passable? No, there's a gate. Or nope, this thing hasn't been a road for a really long time, and that's a big tree growing in it. So
yeah,
you never know.
It's like, okay, the road's not there anymore. Okay.
Yeah. But BC, of course, as we are here, is loaded with old logging roads and trails and ATV trails and what have you. So we are really quite excited about trying to get back up there and exploring where we grew up more. We did a lot of that as kids, but we had our parents with us, and so we were a little bit more confined as to where we went and how far we went.
Sometimes getting the Broncos stuck on the railroad tracks and
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But we won't talk about those stories. But yeah, no, BC's, every time I go down a different road, it's like right now, just exploring Squamish area. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah. Amazing area.
I mean, Cayden sitting there counting like 107, 108, 109 waterfalls as we're going. I'm going, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's just side of the road, just going. So, I mean, we're going down this road and we go down this road. And another weekend, we'll go down another road. But it's just like, it's amazing the places that you see. And it's just like, and the things that you find. It's it's a lot of fun.
Well, and one of the main reasons that we started when we started to even motorcycle ride together was just our ability to reconnect and share experiences together. Because up until when our dad passed away, we were several hours apart, and we talked to each other maybe once every
few months,
whether
we needed to or not,
which is not cool. And so, unfortunately, it took our dad passing away to make us realize, hey, we need to reconnect with people that we really care about. And so it's just now for us, a lot of it is just the fact that we're going out and we're actually experiencing things together. And that's why, being able to talk to each other all the time is half the fun, because, we're making crazy comments or just talking about life in general as we're riding, which is really cool because we don't have the distractions of cell phones and everything else to interrupt conversations and ideas that we're sharing.
Now, before your mom passed, had you started doing the biking and stuff like that too? And how was how did she feel about it?
So actually the summer that mom had her stroke, we actually had it on the books and in the plans to take her on a second BC tour trip.
Oh.
So we had already taken 2 years before that. We had taken her on loaded her on the back of my motorcycle, and we did a pretty good circuit through BC.
Yeah.
With her on the back, and of course she loved to ride motorcycle too. So so that was actually really cool, because then all three of us were together talking and chatting, and
we tapped her into the intercom, so she got to hear our
craziness,
our dialogue, and wanted to do another trip. So I guess there's something there.
And in fact, I have a picture that I now cherish quite a lot. Is the month before she had her stroke, I have a picture of her on the back of my motorcycle. I was taking her for a ride, because as soon as she'd come to my house, she'd say, "When are we going for a ride?"
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's all I remember as kids is our parents riding all the time, and us, right?
Yeah.
we'd go down to Arizona, and I just remember just being out there.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the memories like I really remember of like your parents as well, your dad, your mom. I remember us out camping with the our newfie, whoever thought was a bear.
Yep. Yep.
Hear all the screams, which was funny. But yeah, those memories are just, you know, that's something to cherish.
Yeah.
And your mom always pulling my ear.
It's like, hello, panicking camper. Did you know bears do not have tails that big?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Kidding.
when you have a big black newfie coming at you,
Oh yeah,
And it's dark outside.
yes,
yeah, that's true.
it's like,
Fair point.
no, some good memories there. Some really good memories. So, how? Oh, maybe I won't go there.
No.
Right then.
No, we'll leave that one alone because I don't know how that is right now. So, with your adventures and stuff, is Kelly getting more involved in it, or is she more kind of like Lainey, where she just kind of wants to stay a bit more home, or does she enjoy it?
No, she does enjoy it. In fact, she was probably one of the main reasons we bought the big deck over snowmobile trailer. Is because we've been wanting to camp, get the kids out and camp a lot more, so that way she can join in on the adventures. But we kind of decided we didn't feel like putting $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 into a regular trailer. And then we still, you know, see how do we still haul all the motorcycles or all the gear along with us? So she was definitely one of the driving forces for us to buy something a little bit more of a utilitarian type of a cargo trailer where we can still sleep in it, we can still prep and haul all our food and what have you, but a little more of a roughing, you know, lot more roughing it than your regular camping. But yeah, she loves to get out and the whole motorcycling for her is, you know, she's certainly capable. She's a little tentative yet, which is good because that's what keeps you safe. But she enjoys it.
I know Cayden keeps asking me, he's like, well, when can Uncle Brenden take me for a ride? I'm like, when you're older.
Hey, I've got pictures of when Kendra was not hardly big enough to touch the foot pegs with either toe taking her for a ride. So I'll take him anytime he likes. I've got gear that fits him.
Of course you do.
Yeah, he just went there. So
Yeah.
now you're gonna have a whole bunch of behind the scenes negotiations going on before the border opens.
So your whole family, Brenden, rides.
Yeah.
Getting into it.
And of course I take all of my kids. Well, this last summer I didn't, but usually I try and take all of the kids actually by themselves, just them and myself on some sort of a weekend motorcycle ride as well.
Some one-on-one time.
It's and again we're both connected via speakers. You don't have any other distractions, so you actually get to spend some time together.
And Shelby, you and your 500 kids, do any of them ride?
Kids. Some of them have made some noises about getting a motorcycle one day. None of them have so far. So the little one, the 7-year-old, he definitely wants to go for a ride, but we're referring to his mother's judgment, and she's saying not yet, which at this stage is just fine. So
You're gonna go, okay, when?
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool to see him out on
For me at this point, it's something apart from the tribe. So
yeah, it's kind of your little side hobby type of thing, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's something that's away from everybody else. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's a good time to reconnect, and you know it really is about just getting out of your house and away from everyday life and experiencing life at a little slower pace, but
slower. No, just less complex because it's just you and what's in front of you. Avoid the moose. dodge the deer, don't run in the back of your brother when he hits the brakes and didn't tell him, hey, I'm stopping. You know, so there's adventure there, but it's more linear than life. Okay, well, I don't know about him, but it's more linear than my life because I have a lot of moving parts. So, and I enjoy that simplicity.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Also
neat.
something you can control. You know, if you're on a motorcycle, you can lose control, you can slide out, you know, but you still have more control over your own fate with that than you do in life with family and, you know, how many kids, and everybody has their own ideas, and it's always sort of like bedlam. So for me,
Okay.
anyway. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of cool to see you guys out there, seeing you guys start your adventure, see you guys grow in the YouTube community. And I think it's awesome. I really do. To see the adventure that you guys are on.
Well, we're looking forward to sharing more of our adventures with other people because we certainly have come across some pretty amazing sights sometimes.
Yeah, and those are memories that, you know, they last. They stay with you. They're ingrained into your mind. And I think that helps a lot with sometimes with your sanity.
Oh yes.
I think it helps you grow
Very much.
as a person as well.
Some of the most effective mental health tools that exist in the world today come with two wheels.
Yeah.
I'm not a healthcare professional providing that, but that's been my experience. Or four.
Like,
it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's,
Just
you
get
know,
out.
2 feet. It
Just
doesn't matter as long
getting
as
out.
you're going.
Yeah.
I think it's getting out. It's getting away from the rat race, and it's getting out and just discovering yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said in the very beginning. It's clearing your mind and finding your soul, and that's why we started our adventures. For that exact reason, just to get the stress out of your head and to just ground yourself and find what there is really in life.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it really has the ability for, I think we discussed it earlier about finding the wonder of life. And as adults, unfortunately, we've basically just become the dead husks of our children, because they still have that wonder. They still look at the world with amazement and surprise. And we as adults, we think we've seen it all, and so we have a tendency to lose our imagination and our wonder. And when you go out and you start adventuring, suddenly it all comes back to you, and you start saying, "Oh wow, look at that! Oh, look at that over there! Oh my goodness! Well, I wish somebody else was here to see this because this is amazing."
You become a kid again. You're just like, oh yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I think
you're excited.
and I think that's what, in a lot of ways, can help keep us younger, because we're out there adventuring. We're out there seeking the adventure. We're out there exploring the adventure. We're out there finding the adventure, and discovering amazing things as we go.
And amazing doesn't have to be very far from your doorstep, and that's
No.
what's really cool. It's not
No.
that far. If you're willing to just have an adventure, then it doesn't have to be that far from your doorstep.
No, it was like Cayden and I went like 45 minutes, half an hour away, and discovered this whole building that we never even knew existed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa, really? Wow. And that's just, you know, we're just going out for a little drive. Like, you know, the old, in Langley, the old, what's it called? The historic trail or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that's where we discovered this whole building, this old electric train building.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy cow. Pulled the drone and flying around it. And it's like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, where has this been? Like, it's obviously been here for 100 plus years, but it's just like, and then doing research on it, saying, oh, there's another one in Abbotsford that someone has bought. They fixed it all up and selling it for a couple $1 million now. but I'm just sitting there going, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's just these little things that you don't know about.
Yeah, because and because they're, I mean, by themselves they're not necessarily like amazing, but
Yeah.
because you've put back on your hat of wonder and exploration adventure, it is cool. It's amazing. It's cool. It is now wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at us as kids. I mean, going through the creek and getting into the paintball place and things like that. I mean, just getting out there and exploring was fun.
Yeah, I mean, we could spend a whole day on a creek, you know, and maybe travel a half a kilometer at the most in 10 hours and think that we had, you know, walked halfway around the world.
Conquered the world. You know, the Fraser River was really not that far away. And my one regret with not going down that creek, how many times we did it to there, we never did go all the way.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, maybe a few hundred yards beyond or meters where we went, it might have ended up in a waterfall. Who knows? But
Who knows, right?
never did it.
Yeah. So,
But I mean, even as kids, I think that's what was kind of instilled in us from our parents to get out and explore and to be who we were.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes cutting the electric fence wasn't the best thing to do, and the neighbor's pigs out.
In retrospect,
It was his fault. His fault.
sure.
My fault.
I just know how it came to light.
Yeah, your dad wasn't very happy.
In a certain way, and then when I consulted the parent involved, it was a little different, but it's okay because we all live.
It became abundantly clear when the pigs suddenly were in our yard and not the neighbor's yard.
Yep.
Some of that.
Bad.
Oh, well.
But we are at our hour. I do want to thank both of you for coming on here and sharing your story. And we look forward to your story continuing and seeing all the adventures that you guys are going to be on. I'm really looking forward to that. So,
well, thank you for having us, and we're excited, and we appreciate the ability to share some of what we've been experiencing.
Yep.
No, it's great to see family out there, right?
Yeah.
Getting out and exploring and having these adventures, and I think that's really special.
Yeah, it is very much so.
So I want to thank both of you. I really appreciate it, and can't wait to get out and hook up with you guys on the road once the borders and stuff open, and get some adventuring under our belts together.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you're up and back on your feet again.
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm still a little light on my feet, but I'm feeling a lot better, taking it easy. It was scary in there. It really was.
Yeah.
Not a fun place.
Sending you some tracks.
But I appreciate it. And until next time, guys.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you. See ya. Great to connect with Brenden and Shelby. Growing up with these two, they are brothers to me, and it's special to see family out there adventuring and exploring their side of things, doing their whole world of adventuring. And don't let anything stop you. Get out there, explore, and do what's in your heart. Adventuring is good for you. The air, the adventure, the hunt for the creativity is what's important, and it's what keeps you going. So I do want to appreciate everybody for joining us today. We are going to sign out of here, and thank you everybody for coming along.